Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. Oh shit. Ooh, this is the peace dealer. Please pardon my resting bitch face. Alright? I have resting bitch face. I have a Taurus rising. I feel amazing. I just came from this coffee shop. But don't mind the resting bitch face, because it's on full mode right now. I've come into quite amazing realizations, and one thing about this balsamic phase in any sign is the bittersweet quality of it. Where you, especially with the nature of the truth, you come in and understand the truth that you need, but you may not have wanted to hear, which is very important because an aspect like this reveals to you how your own desires can get in the way of not what's meant for you, but what you truly want. Oh my God. So definitely prepare for the energy to hit this new moon and then to spill over forward into this very extravagant Leo energy. Now, word of caution, when certain people really don't know who you are or don't know how to approach you, they'll reframe your existence. And this is something, a test with the moon square Saturn and the moon square Neptune, where, okay, if I can't necessarily manipulate you, I can get you to operate on my frame. So don't respond to what's not you. Don't necessarily give power to outside forces and influences. In this case, the understanding of your individual thoughts relative to collective narratives and beliefs that at this point you've long since evolved beyond. Because you are dealing with these influences that do not have the opportunity to draw you there, the best they can do is switch the frame. And a lot of this stuff is subtle. Minute things you react to, the way you react to them. In other words, you are a secure being within yourself. So if I came through and I started venomously or slick, disrespecting you and insulting you, there's no reason for you to take offense, because I'm not talking to you. I'm in a delusion expressing my idea of who you are, and none of those things that I'm saying are truly aligned to you. This is different. If it is true to you, then you of course respond in however way you like or not. But given this Pisces square, you're dealing with the perpetual perception of other people who, from the outside looking in, judge and perceive your life based on very superficial reflections and observations. Nothing is ever as it seems, so just keep that moving forward, and vice versa when you look at certain things you see in other people's lives. Especially the whole notion with the Gemini Pisces square are metaphysical synchronicities and signs that directly contradict real-time data and information you're picking up. Don't necessarily let the 3D circumstances stop you from believing what you're stepping into, because the balsamic phase is releasing the old cycle and you're picking up the cycle to come literally within a few days. You're not waiting for anything to happen. This is just for you to move in that direction. So this is it. This is the conclusion of the Cancer season transit before we step into the new moon in Cancer and reactivate new psychic powers. New moon, Cancer, new psychic powers. Let's get it. All right. The last time the moon was in Gemini, the sun was in Gemini. So we are literally revisiting new magic abilities we've activated like 28 months ago or 28 days ago. And be very mindful of that, because the mindset that you had 28 days ago versus now, square this Pisces energy, is similar to an analogy that I'm going to give you and will probably resonate. Imagine you were so attached to something you really wanted, right? Someone you really wanted. And maybe like there just wasn't any traction, like things just didn't go anywhere. And now come back around, you have finally decided it's not like you don't want that person or you don't want that, but like the concept of that. You finally realized, okay, I'm completely good on this. And as soon as you finally make that decision, boom, it's like, oh, I want you now. Oh, yes, like, why didn't I see this before? So be very mindful of that, because an experience like that could confuse you and cause you to go back on a decision you made. And that's why I'm saying this is kind of bittersweet, because you releasing old beliefs and thoughts around how to feel about certain situations will completely transcend and make obsolete old situations. And you don't want to be tempted to go back because of someone's sincere, well-meaning or manipulative quality to just have you, or someone or something to just have you in its fear. That's just an example. So I'm not talking about anything specific, but that can apply to anything. Everything that seems bad, duplicitous, illusory is really a huge blessing in disguise. So don't take the events that you will experience over the next 48 days personally at all. This is just to facilitate an old perspective before we activate a literal new cycle. But I want to once again revisit the fact that the last time the moon was in here, we activated new magic. So you are revisiting this new magic that you've activated and integrated over the past 3 weeks, harvesting it. And this is now your re-understanding of this ability expressed through the psychic power of the Cancer Sun. And what this is going to do is it's going to adjust your mind's thoughts and beliefs around experiences you've recently facilitated that might seem like glitches in the matrix or super synchronicities, as well as powerful utilization of new abilities that will help you know what direction to feel in. All this is happening very fast. We're talking about minute brain functions that will occur within like milliseconds, and this is all happening within a short period of time. So that's where, with the 12th house aspect of release, you have to be okay and surrender not having to know certain details. You have to be okay with not understanding how to make sense or what to make sense of it, because that will come moving forward after the balsamic. We're dealing with unseen elements of our psyche and how we release and facilitate all this. I wish I could say that in a way that's not retarded. But other than that, I really would get super fucking excited if I were you, because that new moon is going to follow up with the actual T-square with the sun, Pluto, or cross, and the nodes. And this period is legitimately hand guiding you by destiny and fate so that you can be in the direction you're meant to go in. Okay? And relative to that, this is where if you get caught up in, outside opinions about who you're not and who you are, none of that shit matters. You really just want these experiences to remind you of, relative to these outside opinions, who actually knows you versus who actually doesn't. And it's less about who knows who. The South Node in Libra is already reorganizing who you're getting ready to move forward with and lead. By the way, thank you guys once again. You guys are the fucking best, y'all. I really do appreciate every single one of the testimonials. I just read an amazing, shout out to Sean Zuza. I just read an amazing testimonial from him with the reading I did, and a few other people too. You guys have been showing me mad support, and I appreciate it. Keep rocking with me. I'm gonna keep rocking with you. We are seeing a decided shift moving forward, because once we start this Cancer season integration leading into Leo, this is going to very powerfully open up this sense of supernatural integration. The bittersweet part about this, though, and before I mention that, the supernatural integration is socializing, and it doesn't mean you have to go out and be social, especially if you're not social. Like if you're not Leo to Scorpio, Virgo, Libra. You don't really have to be social. But like other than that, you know what I'm saying? Even though it could develop elements of your character, this is just a social integration. And that doesn't mean you have to be social, but it is integrating the social awareness of how you master these abilities. And this is going to be so fucking fun, especially coming into Virgo season, trying Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus. So another bittersweet element of this is, unfortunately, the next 2 days, not unfortunately for you, certain forces are going to realize that they lost access to you forever. That's another dramatic aspect of this shift. You never really know what you got until it's gone. So you may not be aware that certain people have been looking at you in a certain way that, relative to right now, the quality of how they're going to realize what they may have been able to gain with you or work with you or interact with you. This may not make sense to you, but more to them. But the bittersweet feeling on the other side is so many forces or people have been committed to misunderstanding you that now the understanding of truth, moon in Gemini, of the metaphysical, the unseen, the mystical, the mystery, the illusions. This moon in Gemini is another disillusionment process. And certain people are going to realize that their commitment to misunderstanding you really fucked them in the bee. Sorry. Really screwed them over. Wow, I said that so casually. Really screwed them over. And like, it's not like a revenge tit for tat thing. These are personal observations where people are realizing, wow, like because of these limiting beliefs I've had about you, it's really gone in the way of what we could have accomplished. So you're going to be feeling that. And some of you will not know why you're feeling that. What you're feeling is an entire collective changing their perception on you as we move forward with this Cancer new moon and the North Node in Aries. And that's this strange transition where you don't want to be caught up or take personally, any clashes that occur, because they're all perceptual differences. No one is going to know what they're saying. So people are just trying to, make sense of what they feel. And as long as you remember that literally nobody knows shit, then you don't have to take personally what people say. They're just sounding out their experiences. Anyway, other than that, not to say people don't have their personal wisdom, but, let's not hide for a run from the truth. That being said, it's just something to be said about not only the squares to Neptune and Saturn, but just this, intellectual enlightened understanding that's going to make obsolete every single way you have identified yourself. All right. And every single way you have really worked on opening up how you express yourself. And this is happening. The lever is switching, like it's literally happening. So I think this amazing 1-2 punch is going to finish this harvest. And this balsamic phase is going to facilitate the process of literally changing your brain functioning around how and what you activate elements of your abilities and powers. Be willing to release old beliefs. It's going to feel like you're letting go of something you wanted, but trust me, like it's like letting go of an old version of yourself to embrace the new moon. And this comes with a new feeling. So as you're releasing that old feeling, it's going to feel like you're empty. Embrace that, because you're never empty and you're never alone. And so other than that, y'all stay blessed as always. Do not react too quickly to negative forces projecting. Hurt people, and weak little bitches are just stupid. It's not their fault they're stupid. They were just born that way. They didn't make the decision to really develop themselves, and so they're just out here projecting, getting triggered. That's nothing to do with you, okay? So really just ask yourself, maybe what influences this attraction of this, or what are you helping these people process? Because the more still you are in your feelings without them getting turbulent, even if you're an emotional person, the more receptive you're gonna be to this hidden insight. But be careful about deception, and assume that most people don't know what they want, even if they're sincere. So don't go off of face value because someone is promising you things. With this square to Gemini and Pisces, just expect people to promise you all types of shit that they're probably not going to live up to and fulfill. And you don't also want to. People can change minds during this period, so just consider it all cap. But get excited because we're getting ready for this new moon. And this is going to transcend your ideology about yourself and how you feel about yourself to get there. Godspeed, y'all. Peace.